We're here with the TIU men's soccer captains Jake Butenuth, Zach Mawdsley, Nathan Patterson, and Josiah Fuchs, previewing the 2020-21 season. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Sure.
So let's just kind of start out the obvious. It's been a crazy year. You guys managed to get your full season in last year before the COVID pandemic hit. But a lot of stuff's had to change for this year. Your season gets moved to the fall, or to the spring, and you're going to have to play a lot of your games off campus. What's the biggest thing you guys have had to adapt to this year so far?
Yeah, I think it's, well, especially last semester, it wasn't practicing fully as a team together. We had little groups practicing, and that was rough at the start. I think we developed some good things through that, but not being able to practice as a whole team at the start was pretty rough.
I'd have to go off of that, kind of also just with the coronavirus. There was a decent amount of us. I was one of them who got the virus itself, and we had to quarantine for 2 weeks. So everything we may have gained just physically, we lost a lot of that, and we had to kind of play catch up. But it's definitely been a crazy time.
I think that's definitely been the most difficult thing, missing players and the whole team having to quarantine at times, with scares and people having symptoms or whatever. And so I think that's been difficult, a time where we've had to really learn through being able to adapt to change quickly.
Yeah, I mean, all this kind of stuff, we've had to be real flexible, as everybody has. Learn to play in the cold outside. That's been an adjustment this semester. So, yeah, I mean, there's been a ton of changes. Not normal, obviously, but just trying to adapt to everything and be flexible with it. Just go with the flow.
You only lost one senior player from last year's roster. Has being able to keep that large majority of the core together been helpful for your guys' development?
Yeah, I think that's actually been a big part of our team is keeping. I mean, we had 2 upperclassmen really starting last year, and now it's majority of our upperclassmen, juniors, and sophomores now are going to be guys in there playing. So I think that's big for us.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that as well. I think that just as a whole team, since we didn't lose a lot of guys, we didn't lose a big part of our team, and that's something that a lot of teams suffer is when their whole senior class leaves. So we've been kind of used to that already, so I think that can be an advantage for us.
I think it's helped as well with the team get closer and also understand how we want to play and what we want to achieve very clearly as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've been taking steps each year, getting a little bit better in the standings, and so having that same core, I think, really positions us well to take that next step.
You guys have what is likely the largest single-season roster in the 51-year history of the program. Can't even tell you how many we have on the roster at the moment. Do you see having a large roster impacting the team this year with all this depth?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely like that next man up mentality, especially this year, because we don't know what COVID's going to do, how it's going to affect the team, but having that big roster and having a lot of guys brings just a whole new aspect and a lot of depth to our team this year.
Yeah, he summed it up pretty well, but just that competition that last year when we didn't have as many guys, it was kind of people were getting comfortable in their spots, where now we have double the team we did before, so it really does play an important role on just the competition, and we can see it in practice where it's very competitive all the time, and I think it's definitely a strength.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what's been said. I think also with what we mentioned earlier about quarantining, that could potentially be something where if a large portion of the team is unable to play, then that could be very beneficial, having a deep team this year, because other teams in other sports have had to cancel games but due to not having enough players, so hopefully that will not be an issue for us.
Yeah, definitely could be a strength with COVID and everything, but just strength in numbers is something we believe in. It's great to have a ton of guys, next man up mentality. It's easy, like we got plenty of guys who are working hard every day, plenty of guys to encourage you, and I honestly enjoy having a big team. I think it's really beneficial.
What do you feel the biggest strength of this year's team is going to be?
I think it's our brotherhood and our family we've developed, I know our chemistry and culture has grown a ton in these last 4 years since I've been here. And that plays a big part in how we want to be on the field and off the field. So that's been big.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Coming in freshman year, I could see the culture, but just there was disconnect, and as I've grown and as I've been part of this program, it's been really good to see just how we've connected, and on top of that, how we can push one another through that and call each other out and not be worried about off the field, really worrying about being mad at one another or ruining that culture with that. And so in a way, it's a good way to just make everyone work harder, but that's the main thing I would say.
Yeah, I think the togetherness will definitely be a strength. Just staying together as a group and making sure that we're not a team full of individuals, and sort of the unity that we're all in this together.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the culture, the brotherhood. I think that, like, going off of that, we don't give up. We fight hard in every game we've done in the past. And I think that this group, especially, like, we got a lot of fight in us. And we're ready. We're ready to take that next step. And I think that no matter what game we're in, we're going to fight. We're going to play hard and play down to the wire.
Last one for you guys. Do you each have a message for the fans as the season gets started here?
I know it's cold, and I know it's freezing, but we would love and need your support this year more than ever.
Going off of that, it's going to be tough to actually be out there on the field, so all the support we can get from fans will definitely encourage us, and that could honestly make or break games for us as well.
I'd agree. Even if you can't make it, then watch the live stream as well.
My message for all you fans out there, we'll see you in Nationals in Florida. Nice and warm.